Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with a full review of the Jomgand JQP3750 portable jump starter and air compressor in a single unit. And it's actually 3 units in one because it's a jump starter, so you can use it to jump start your car if your battery gets a little bit low. It's also an air compressor, which means if you have a flat tire, you can inflate the tire with it. You can also inflate your bicycle tires, your beach balls, anything that needs a little bit of extra air. But it's also a power bank, so you can use it to charge and recharge devices out in the field. Now, there are a lot of companies on the market that make a portable air compressor. There are other companies that make a really nice portable jump starter, and there are a ton of companies that make a power bank, and you can put all 3 of those in your car. But why would you do that when it's all in one unit here from Jomgand? So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the features and functions. But before I get into all that, I always like to start with an unboxing of any product I'm reviewing, just so you understand exactly what comes with the kit. And then I'll talk more about the specifications, because this product is really pretty amazing and the perfect product to put in the back of your car. So heaven forbid you have a problem where you can't start it in the middle of the winter, or you've got a tire that's a little bit low, you've got a solution right in the back seat. So let's start with the unboxing. So when you first pop open the box, you'll find the unit. It's a little bit heavy. It's 3.2 pounds, but it's got a lot of battery capacity inside. It's 3,750 amps of starting capabilities, which will start a car that's up to 10 liters and a diesel engine up to 8.5 liters. So a lot of energy packed in this little case. It's also a power bank with 2,600 milliampere hours of internal capacity that you can use to charge your phone. You can run a light with it. You can plug a lot of things into it and actually charge and operate those devices. All right, so also in the kit, besides the unit, is a set of jumper cables. Now, these plug into the side of the unit. You connect these up to your battery and you can start your car. They also include a removable hose that you can use for the compressor section of it. You basically screw this in the end, you put it in compressor mode, and attach this to whatever you need to inflate. They even include a bunch of adjustment tips so you can inflate things like beach balls or maybe a soccer ball. Anything that needs air, you can pretty much clamp this on the end and start inflating that product. There's a lot of cables included as well. There's a standard DC cable, and you can use this to charge the unit from your car, so you'll plug this into your convenience outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the input port on the unit, and you can fully charge the unit from your car. They also include 2 other cables, which I think was a nice touch, and these are used for charging external devices from the power bank. There's a USB-A to USB-C. You can plug this into the USB-A port in the end, plug anything in that's got a USB-C connection on it, and charge it right from the unit. And they also include a USB-C to USB-C cable, and this one's a heavy-duty cable because you can also charge this at home if you choose to do that using this USB-C to USB-C, and you can actually charge the unit with a 60-watt charger, so you can charge it really quickly from your car or home from that cable. Also included is a full instruction manual that lists everything you could possibly want to know about the product, how to use the compressor, how to use the power bank, how you can actually use it to start your car. So always read through that manual to get the best value of any product you're considering. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the unit because I like it a lot. Matter of fact, I like it so much, I've actually added 2 more of them to our home, one for my son's car, one for my wife's car, because all the things that are going to cause you issues when you're on the road are pretty much solved by this device. This product will start your car if it gets a little bit low on battery power, like I'd mentioned, and that's super important because we're heading into winter, and your car might have been operating just fine all summer because you don't really have that much of a startup problem when it's warm. But when it gets cold and that engine is sitting there overnight in that cold weather, and you come out in the morning, you're getting ready to head out to work, you turn the key, and all you hear is and that's a bad sound. So what are you going to do? You got to run back inside the house, grab your son, grab your daughter if you've got another car, drag out the jumper cables, and it turns into a real hassle. But even more if you've parked in a lot and you come out after a long day of work and you can't get your car started. Well, this acts like another battery, so you can basically connect up the cables, clamp it to your battery, get back in your car, turn the key, and it's going to start your car. So it's wonderful for that. And again, a lot of the units on the market are much smaller, and they might work okay sometimes, but this one will start a completely dead battery. So that's pretty impressive. Now, as far as the unit goes, there's also a light on the end of it. You can turn that on if you're trying to pump up your tires because it's a compressor, and it's not the kind of compressor that you actually have to hook up to your car to use. You can basically use the batteries that are stored inside this unit to start the compressor. And that compressor, again, can pump up your tires. It can pump up all kinds of beach things. If you've got a little float for the beach, or you've got beach balls, or I don't know, if you're going to be blowing up a soccer ball or a basketball, it's a great way to do that. But primarily, if it's in your car, it's perfect for coming out to your car and you notice the tire's a little bit low, or maybe you're getting a tire warning on your dashboard. You can use this to pump up your tire and take it to a place to get it serviced. And then the third thing that I like an awful lot about this, and that was a nice touch from Jomgand to add that, is that it's a power bank. So the batteries inside there can be used to jumpstart your car. They can be used for the compressor to pump up things externally. They can also be used directly to charge your phone, your flashlights, if you got a tablet with you, whatever you need to charge, you can plug into the side of this and charge it. And the charging functions on this are very advanced. So there's a USB-A port on there, which is the standard connection right here that you'll use on most of the chargers at home. So if you've got a phone or a tablet, you want to plug it in there, plug into the USB-A port, and you can charge that device. But it also has a USB-C port on it, which is the newest style of connector, and that, again, will charge all kinds of portable devices. But the key thing is that USB-C connection is a PD connection, which is power delivery, which means whatever you plug in there, this unit's going to analyze that device, it's going to figure out what the charge level is currently, and it's going to adjust the voltage and current to quickly and safely charge that device up to 60 watts. So this can handle larger phones, it can handle drone batteries in some cases, you could charge large tablets, you can probably charge some laptops as well, as long as they're small. But again, I wouldn't use this as my primary charger, but it's nice to know that I've got this reserve of power in the back of my car that, heaven forbid, I break down and I need to charge something, I've got it built into the unit. Now, if you stay tuned next, what I'll do is take a closer look at the unit, because there's a lot to know about what you connect where and how things go together. And I'll show you that so you understand exactly how to use it. And then I'll come back at the end and point out a few things that I really like about this particular unit that you can use to compare it to other products you might be considering. The Jomgand JQP3750 features a high-impact plastic case, which makes the product lightweight and incredibly durable. It weighs 3.2 pounds and provides 3,750 amps of peak current to easily start your car. The internal compressor provides 150 PSI of air, so you can easily inflate your tires or a beach ball or even a basketball if needed. It also provides a battery bank functionality with 2,600 milliampere hours of internal capacity that can be used to charge and operate all of your portable devices through the USB-A and USB-C connection on the product. On the front of the unit, you'll find a series of soft touch buttons that control the unit, and you can turn it on using the power button by tapping that. It takes a second to go through its power on self-test and immediately comes up in air compressor mode. You have a choice between PSI and bar by tapping that button, so make your selection, and then you can adjust the pressure by using the plus arrow to go up and the minus arrow to go down. Then when you're satisfied with the pressure being correct, you can hold the pump button down to start the pump. It'll automatically shut off at the pressure you've indicated here. You can also turn on the light. There's a 500 lumen light on the side by holding down the light button. It'll come on in flashlight mode. If you tap the button, it'll go into strobe mode. Tap it again to go into SOS mode. Hold it down to turn the light off. On the side of the units where you'll make your connections, there's a connection here for your jumper cables and a connection here for your USB ports. When you peel back this rubber grommet, you'll see the customized connector, and that's where you'll connect the actual cable for jumping your car. Close that up when you're not using it. Over here, you've got another rubber grommet. If you pull that back, you'll find 3 connections. There's a barrel connector. That can be used to charge the unit using the DC cable that's included with the kit. And there are 2 output connections right here, a full-sized USB-A and a USB-C. The USB-C is a PD port that can deliver 60 watts of external power. You can also charge the unit through that USB-C port because it's bidirectional. On the end of the unit, you'll find the connection for the compressor. Underneath this grommet, you can connect up the hose, connect that up to whatever you'd like to pump up, and turn on the pump. Then to turn the unit off, all you have to do is hold down on the power button for a couple of seconds, and it goes back to sleep. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now, here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Jomgand JQP3750 with other products you may be considering. The first thing has to do with the internal capacity. This unit weighs 3.2 pounds, but it has an internal peak capacity of 3,750 amps to jumpstart your car. And that's really important because there's a lot of other units on the market that may be a little bit lighter, but that means they've got less capacity. So if you come out in the middle of winter and your car is dead and you can't get it started, having that extra power means you won't have any issues connecting it up to your battery and starting your car right up. So the capacity is important, and okay, it's a little bit heavier than other units, but it's in the back of your car. You're only going to drag it out when you need it. Another thing I really like about the jump starter section is the fact that the connections are detachable. A lot of the units on the market have cables like this, but they're hanging off the end the whole time. And really this unit can do three things. You can use it as an air compressor, you can use it to jumpstart your car, and you can also use it as a battery bank. So I don't really want cables hanging off the end of it all the time that I have to wrangle with when I take it out of my trunk. So I like the fact that I have the cables with me. I can plug them in when I want to use it to jumpstart my car, and when I'm not going to use it for that, I can detach them. All right, so the other thing that's important about the jump starter section is they built all kinds of protections in to help you not damage the unit. So for example, if you're goofy and you drop this and these two connections touch, the unit will shut off. A lot of other units will just conduct a tremendous amount of current and actually damage the internal electronics. So they've got overcurrent, overvoltage protection built in, short circuit protection built in. So all the things that could damage the unit, and more importantly, damage your car, are protected inside the unit. All right, another thing I like an awful lot about it is the compressor. Now, there are a lot of portable compressors on the market you can use with your car, but most of them require you to plug them into your auxiliary outlet inside the car, and that can be a hassle because you've only got a certain length of hose from the compressor to your tires and a certain length of cable from your car to the actual unit. With this one, the internal batteries power the compressor, and that's super important because this is ultimately portable. I can take it with me anywhere. I can charge my batteries and I don't have to worry about plugging it into my car. I can take it in my backyard and blow up a beach ball if I'm heading off to the beach, or a basketball if we're going to play a little game of basketball. So it's a little powerhouse that can be used to jumpstart your car, can be used to blow up things through the compressor function, and I like that an awful lot. And I think they really went above and beyond by including a really nice heavy-duty cable that screws into the side of it. Again, it's detachable, and it's got a standard output right here that'll attach right to your tires, as well as a ton of accessories that you can use to pump up pretty much anything that needs a little bit of extra air. And then the third thing I like an awful lot about it is the fact that it's a battery bank. So many times companies will build a product like this that's designed to jumpstart your car, and I think to myself, okay, that was a great function, but wouldn't it be cool if I had a USB-A or USB-C connection on it where I could use that internal energy to charge my phone or my tablet? Well, Jomgand's thought of that. So they provide a USB-A connection for older phones and cables and a newer USB-C connection, but they don't stop there. That USB-C connection is a 60-watt PD connection, which means if you've got a phone or a tablet that quick charges using the PD standard, plug it in there, it's going to quick charge just like it would at home on one of your 65-watt chargers. So I really think they've thought of everything. I really think this is a wonderful unit, and like I say, I like it so much that I actually picked up one for my son's car and my wife's car, and I feel pretty confident that when they're out there, heaven forbid something happens where they can't get the car started or one of their tires is getting a little bit low, they've got a solution in their trunk that they can use to immediately fix that problem. And that's pretty much all I had for today. Oh, I didn't mention this. I talked about it before. I didn't think I'd use the light that often because I'm thinking, okay, I've got flashlights in the car or whatever. That light comes in really handy, and that's a 500 lumen light. So when you turn that on, it also has an SOS beacon built in. So if you did break down on the side of the road, you can turn this on, put it in SOS mode, and that way oncoming traffic knows that you're off to the side of the road. That can really prevent a lot of horrible things from happening. So I think Jomgand's done a great job with this product. Like I'd mentioned, I like it a lot, and I think you're going to like it a lot as well. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you found value in the review, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy.